tripped it again, so you gotta shovel them all out. Just a little bit more of some redneck ingenuity. It's the last day of harvest. We are just about done, but we overloaded a belt. There's too many potatoes on it. We can't get it to go without tripping this breaker in here. So we're having to shovel it off until there's enough weight off that we can turn it on and get it to go. So let's see if we can. All right, let's try it. See if we can get it going here. Oh, I think it's gonna go. Too much? You don't want to go for a ride, Brady?
I didn't want to. Not today.
It's not tripping anymore. Now we got to get that pile. That one should go because that belt over there isn't near as full. Okay, that pile's going. Looks like we're good to go. We're going again. We're only going to get this cellar probably half full. We're not piling them very high. This one doesn't have an air tunnel. It just has vents that run down the middle. So we don't want to fill this one super full. But it looks like we're going again. So we're on our last field and the potatoes were really big. So I came and sacked up a few more sacks of really big potatoes to give away. We're gonna be giving away 40 sacks, well, now 43 sacks of potatoes. Once we're done, probably in a week or two, we'll be giving those away. And they're gonna be free. We're gonna be in front of Pick Me Up Drinks and Cox's Honey in Shelley, Idaho. So if you're local and you want some free potatoes that aren't just little baby potatoes you find in the grocery store, they're these big potatoes that we grow, that we're stocking up. These are the ones we're giving away. So I will be making a post when it gets closer to the day and time when we're actually going to be giving them away. So make sure to subscribe if you want some free potatoes and you're local. You can come get some. It's first come, first serve, so whoever gets there first gets the potatoes. But yeah, it's gonna be big potatoes, not little guys. So if you want some potatoes, make sure to subscribe. So this cellar, because we're not gonna fill it quite full, we're not stacking them all the way to the top because we know we're gonna have enough room. But the difference between this cellar and all of our other cellars is there's no air tunnel that runs down the side. So instead, the vents run down the middle and they'll run all the way to the end. And there's some fans that you put in the back and then some fans you put in the front, and they blow air into these vents versus having an air tunnel. So a little bit different setup. We're gonna try and get these potatoes taken out first because this really isn't enough air for this many potatoes. It needs to have more, maybe at least one more vent in the middle, but that's not how they have this cellar set up. So we're gonna make sure that these get taken out first. Probably in a month, they'll start taking them out slowly. And then they'll use all these potatoes along with the other potatoes they've contracted from other farmers. And they will use these to run for the next 6 or 8 months. Just took out this conveyor right here. As the cellar gets full, this has to move out. So we just took out a conveyor, we're filling up the cellar. Should be done in about an hour with harvest, so. But then we have to move all of this equipment back to the home place. So that's what we'll be doing this afternoon. But they're bolting this together so we can get unloading trucks again because our even flow bin broke. So we are at a standstill because they're just unloading right onto the table. So we got to get this back going so the trucks can unload. right, we are going again. Got it bolted back up. Got Grandpa here. He's out here making sure that everything's running good. He's the one who started the farm back in 1944. He's been farming ever since. He'll be 89 in December. He's always out here making sure we're doing it right. He helped sack up some of those sacks of potatoes. This truck right here broke the tie rod end in the front. So we got it kind of patched together a little bit so we can unload it and drive it back. But we just got it unloaded. They're in there scraping out all the dirt and stuff because this is the last load this will get. Then we got to drive this back. He can only go 10, 15 miles an hour because we don't want the tie rod end coming off when he's driving down the road and have him go squirrely into the ditch or something. So I'm gonna follow him and we'll go pick him up and bring him back to help move everything. Well, Brady put too many potatoes on the conveyor again and tripped it again, so he's got to shovel them all out until the motor can take the weight, and then we'll get it going again. It's not as fun when we don't have the even flow bin because you don't get as even of a flow without it. We're getting it. Got to put them on slow or else it'll overload the next one. We have 12 more trucks of potatoes out in the field. So we are almost done. Hopefully another half an hour is all. We're down to the last few trucks. They're getting in and cleaning the trucks out now so we can get ready to take the beds off because we have to start hay harvest next week for 5th crop hay. So these are the last few trucks that we have, and then we will be done with potato harvest for 2023. Got a really nice looking potato crop this year. There's quite a few big ones, like this one's pretty good size. Most of them are smaller, and that has to do with, here's another big one. That has to do with, we were late getting them in the ground by about a month. The winter just never let up and we weren't able to get them in the ground, so we were a month behind getting them in the ground. But for some reason it caused a lot of potatoes to set onto each potato plant. So we have a high yield, but it's a lot of little ones. We have a lot of these little potatoes, but that new harvester that we have has better chains than our old ones, so we don't lose them. We used to lose potatoes about this size. They would just slip through the chains, all these little ones. But the new harvester keeps them all so we don't lose them. They go into the cellar, so our yield is actually pretty good. We'll get the final numbers here in a little bit when we're finally done. We have 3 trucks left to unload, and then we'll move everything back to the cellars, our home cellars, and we'll get the final numbers on what our yield was. Every once in a while you get one of these weird looking potatoes that comes across, looks like some alien potato, but still tastes good, still tastes the same, so we just put it in the pile. Got the last truck. It's not even all the way full. This is the last little bit of potatoes that we're gonna have for this year. The last truck just got done. He parked over there. So we just got to get the last few potatoes down into the cellar. A couple little stragglers. Got to get them all to the end. Still a few. We don't want to leave any. There's the last few potatoes dropping off the end. Just a couple. We got it. We got 1,250 acres of potatoes dug up and harvested. Now we just have to get all of our equipment moved back to our home place. Now we've got to get this moved out of the way. It has these jacks right here that we have to lift up, and then we can drive it out of the way. We left the hitch on the other end, so don't have to hook that back up. Get that out of the way. He's moving the dump trucks, and then we'll pull all the conveyors and piler and everything out, getting our even flow bin ready to go. We have a bunch of stuff to take back. There, all the jacks are up. Now, drive this thing forward. Don't want to run over my cord here. Just get right next to it, and then I'll move it. Oh, it just got unplugged. Ran out of cord. We got to turn this thing around so we can hook to the other end and then pull it out of here. Okay, we've got it all unhooked, the wheel drive, we've unhooked the ram. We're gonna hook the hitch up to him and pull this out of the way, and then we gotta hook up everything else. We gotta hook up the bin. All right, so we've got this hooked up here. We just undid the chain drive. So now this one is ready to pull out. Pull up.
Right. Try to turn over there.
This thing's really weird because it steers right here, so it's really like you're pulling a tandem trailer is what it feels like. We got to figure out how to get this thing turned around in this little tiny yard here. Getting the piler out of the way so we can hook it up, because we have to get the trailer in here to put this expandable on. So we're going to pull up in here into the cellar and then back up right here. Then we'll lift the expandable on with the backhoe and the loader. Just a little bit more of some redneck ingenuity here. This is a way we've showed you before, but this is how we're trying to load our extendable again, because we can't tow it. We got the loader on one side, the backhoe on the other, and we're gonna load it onto this trailer with straw bales if we don't break it first. It's a redneck rodeo, huh? We'll see how much stuff we can break as we load it onto this trailer here. I don't know how much that weighs, but the backhoe can only lift about 6,000 pounds. It can't lift the whole thing up, so tires are a little squishy. Oh, look at that. That's probably good right there. That's good. And unfortunately, we didn't destroy it. I mean, fortunately. Did I say that out loud? And we'll get up and unhook the chain from the loader. A lo mejor si quiere llevarlo está bien. And we get it. We did it. Everything's hooked up now. So we're gonna caravan back to the shop. We still have to come back for some conveyors. I think that's it, just the conveyors. Then we'll be good. Well, we're caravanning back to the shop now. Got the sorter table and the dirt piler, and then behind me, can't really see out my mirror, but the bin and the expandable and everything else is behind me. And I've got the porta potties. Funny thing about the porta potties, all our potatoes are GAP certified. And if we were to not have a bathroom where we were putting them in the cellars, they would not certify our potatoes. So the porta potties are actually very important. So we're back. We got all the trucks. We got most of our stuff. We still have the conveyors over there. We'll go back and get those in a little bit, but we got all of our equipment back. We even got the harvester here, and the crossover is way over there. So we'll get it unhooked. Process of moving the conveyors. Basically, we jack these up, and then we just roll it onto our pipe moving trailer, and then lift the tires back up, and we're good to go. Well, we were moving this to suck this in, and it snapped the bolt off the top, or the nut. This piece was welded here. So our solution is take that little bolt out there. We'll just drop the tires off the bottom, and we'll worry about it another day. Got to lift it up with the loader.
My side's out here.
Get that hammer. You're just gonna have to lift it all the way up. It's pulling the whole threaded piece out. Okay, now put it down.
Hey, yeah, we had to take the legs off.
Down, down, down. We're almost there. Oh, pick it up, pick it up. Okay, hold. Okay, now go down. All right. Okay. We got them on. We will worry about this another time. We're actually never using these again, so we'll probably have to fix it in order to sell it, but we're getting all new stuff for next year. So just got the last couple of things from the other sellers. It's just these 4 conveyors. We're just unhooking them, and then we're gonna go on vacation. Not really. We have hay to do next week, and then we have a month of manure hauling, so farm work never ends. So harvest is over. We just went over all the numbers, and we averaged 543 sacks to the acre on our entire crop this year, which is pretty good. It came to 67 million pounds of potatoes. I keep thinking, trying to make sure I get the numbers right. But finally done. Now we can relax a little bit, and we won't be working 15-hour days for a month trying to get everything done. So make sure to subscribe, because we are moving right into hay harvest. We have 5th crop hay, and then after that we have about a month of hauling manure. After the manure's done, then we can kind of relax. We'll get into winter where we just fix everything. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any content, because we'll be putting it out all the time. So have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.